Hey everybody, it is time for our monthly market update, and I hope you are enjoying this cool weather as we move into the Christmas holiday season. I hope you're having a good time, not too stressed out over buying gifts, but enjoying the season and really what we're doing in celebration of. So I'm going to get real quick to our market update. I've got a lot to go over. So in November, we saw another, in general, little uptick in activity. So this is interesting what's going on in our real estate market. Just kind of back up. So we had the interest rates drop over the second half of the year, and that's kind of put our market shift on a halt. If not, the pendulum seems to be shifting the other way. But, you know, everybody has an opinion. So it's interesting. I was reading an article that Realtor.com had put out on the prediction for 2020, what the housing market is going to do in DFW. And they're predicting basically flat, but down just a little bit. And so it's going to be interesting to see how it does shake out, because I don't know if I totally agree with that because of the interest rates. We know the Fed is going to keep the interest rates down in 2020. We are now seeing wage inflation where people are making more money, so that helps offset the cost of the home prices. And, you know, the whole issue while we went into a shift is home prices have went up too much. Well, what's happening is our economy is just pumping money into people's pockets, giving them confidence to go ahead and make that purchase. So it's going to be really interesting, because as we get through this little market update right now, as you'll see, November's market update, we're beginning to see a pendulum shift towards maybe, are we going to come out hitting the races again in 2020? It's going to be interesting to see. So we'll just make sure you stay tuned and keep up with the market updates. But let's kind of get into it. So in the biggest, this kind of newsworthy event, the biggest home sales increase last month was in Kaufman County, up 22% in Kaufman County. That is, and it's a testament to the fact that people are looking for affordability. Kaufman County has a 360-acre development going in, 1,000 homes being built out there. That's going to be a huge, beautiful new community. There's just a ton of things going on in Forney, Texas. I still believe that's one of the best value propositions in the Dallas Metroplex, because of the affordability and the good schools that they have there. So that's just a little newsworthy. What else do we have? Only 2% of the home loans, only 2.2% of home loans are in foreclosure, going into foreclosure, and that is a 20-year low. 20-year low. On the commercial front, you have law firms relocating to Texas, to Dallas Metroplex in droves. They leased in basically 3/4 of a year from third quarter of 2018 to the second quarter of 2019, 700,000 square feet of space. That is a ton of office space. It's just a testament to what is going on in our economy, in the DFW especially area, because jobs are relocating here. I was reading an article here recently that California lost 700,000 people. We were the biggest, Texas was the biggest relocate location, where we ended up with like 80-something thousand of those 700,000 people. One company after another is just relocating. You can go and just Google Dallas Fort Worth real estate news, and you'll see one after another companies moving to this area. So we're booming here in the Dallas Metroplex still. Jobs coming in. Commercial space just going through the roof. So let's hit on commercial a little bit. I want to hit on commercial first before I go into narrow down on the residential markets. So something interesting is, in the last 10 years, from 2010 to 2019, Dallas Metroplex was the number one in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, led the nation in most multifamily construction in the whole decade. 136,000 units were built since 2010 to now. Just wrap your head around that number. And you know what's interesting is just following the new construction of Class A multifamily. All the predictions show that they're going to soften at some point. But the interesting thing is you go in here. We built 136.8. We've absorbed 100. That's a net absorption of 143,000 apartment units. That's 6,600 more than what were built. We just don't have enough space, one, because we have so many people relocating, so many young professionals, and there was a whole article done on young professionals and what they're doing and their whole outlook on things. They want the experience of a home. They want to be able to move into a nice Class A apartment complex where they have all the amenities, the pools, the resort type atmosphere, hang out, friends, etc. I guess continue the college atmosphere, but the bottom line is multifamily is booming. A, B, C is really booming, and that's C apartment multifamily complex is what you're seeing. Is a lot of people will go in, they'll take a complex that's run down, go put $10,000-$12,000 in a unit, upgrade them, and then take the rents. They take the money back out of it. I can do a whole session on that, but the bottom line is multifamily is where it's at in the Dallas Metroplex, along with many other facets. But I wanted to hit on that in the commercial market update on this session, is that multifamily Class A is still predicting that next year they're going to build 12,700 units and still absorb 18,200 more units next year. So multifamily is booming in the Dallas Metroplex. Our economy in general is booming in the Dallas Metroplex. Let's go on back to single family. Here is an update on the market for single family. We have 2% in sales, and this is for November, North Texas sales. November up 2%, so there's a little bump up like I was telling you. Again, Kaufman County, really Forney attributes to Kaufman County, was the big bump there. Median price, $261,000, up 4%. So we went from a flat to almost a correction territory to now bumping back up, 4% increase going into in November. And sales on the median price. Days on market, flat, so that tells you, we drew down some inventory. This is why I'm like, okay, what's fixing to happen here? Are we fixing to shift the other way? Pending sales, up 8%, so that's a lead indicator into December that sales are going to be up 8%. That's a big jump right there. Listed for sale, down 2%. So there you go. We're seeing a drop in inventory, more sales over the past 2 months. So is this shift finally halted and maybe fixing to shift back into full throttle into 2020? And that's the big thing. And I'll be talking a lot about that next month in our market update, just kind of predictions and all the analysts and everything. But it's interesting to see, the economy is booming. The wages, we're starting to see some wage inflation, which means people are making more money in their jobs. All of these things benefit, and interest rates are going to be low, and they're going to stay low. The Fed's not going to come in and raise interest rates. That's what he's saying right now, at least. So we're teeing up for a good year in 2020. I am pumped about 2020. But right now, let's cherish this season. You guys have a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Remember the reason for the season and why we're celebrating. It's so easy to get caught up in just having to buy gifts and overwhelmed with the stress. I do it. Our family does it at times too. And just take a moment and pause and remember we were given the best gift we could have ever given, and that was Jesus Christ 2019 years ago. And that's what we're celebrating, is his birth and the gift that God gave us in his son. And go share his love with everybody you're around this season. And be safe out there as you're traveling. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.